Hi, everyone, and welcome to Val Talks Pets, the forum for pet parents and enthusiasts alike. Having been in the pet industry for almost 10 years now, I am going to share with you issues and questions that arise as I work with pet parents on a day-to-day basis. I am not a veterinarian, but I do have certifications in canine, feline, small animal, fish and herptile, and avian health and nutrition from the University of California, Davis Extension. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Val Talks Pets. Well, this journey on alternative and complementary practices for our pets just keeps going, and that is a good thing because when we can explore healthier alternatives for pets, we are giving them their best life and allowing them to share their amazing selves with us longer. So today, coming all the way from Nova Scotia, Canada, I have with me Wendie Patrick. Wendie is a biochemic and quantum practitioner. I'll be getting her to explain that for us. And she is the creator of the Finnessiam brand, which creates safe and alternative products for pets. Wendie, welcome to Val Talks Pets.
Thank you, Val. Very, very pleased to be here. I was excited to be here with you today.
How's the weather there in Nova Scotia?
It's absolutely fabulous for a change.
Awesome.
Turned out, cold this morning, but turned out glorious this afternoon.
Oh, that's great. That's good. That's what you need, even so when you're in lockdowns, right?
Oh, yeah. So I work from home, so it's never really affected me. So we do most of our work virtually. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff just goes on outside.
Well, Wendie, you know what? I think right from the get-go, I'm just going to get you to explain right away what a quantum practitioner is for the listeners.
Absolutely. And it's something that I don't even know whether I've heard it before of anyone, but there's a lot more talk about work being done in the quantum field and about quantum physics. There's quantum computers, there's quantum this, there's quantum that. Well, I mean, quantum energy that I've been doing for probably about 8 or 9 years now. And all the different culminations and all the different strings to my bow, I kind of put together even just recently and said, you know what? I'm just going to call myself a quantum practitioner because it covers everything. And that's what we do, is everything.
Okay.
So,
wow.
It kind of wrapped it all up. I mean, we do biochemics, we do real tissue salts, we do kinesiology, we do auriculotherapy, we do energy work, quantum touch, which is just like Reiki. And so many things. It's just ridiculous, really.
Wow. So you're doing an awful lot of energy work for one thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one of your practice, your modalities is doing Reiki with pets. Is that right?
Yes. Well, quantum touch. It's very like Reiki. It's just kind of like a different church. It's the same religion.
Okay.
It's just a different church. That's the best way I can explain it. With quantum touch, we just don't get quite as deep in with the emotions. And with Reiki, it's a lot more emotionally based as well. I basically use the quantum touch, the energy work, literally just to do more clearing than anything else, and some channeling and communication as well. But I know a lot of times a lot of emotions can be released when it comes to the Reiki, and I just didn't want to go that route where it focuses more on the humans with that aspect of it.
Oh, okay.
So even though I have done the animal Reiki side of things, I haven't actually gone in full bore into the human side of it, which I know is a little more in depth than maybe what I would do on the grand scheme of things, if you like.
So what would you be doing? Like, what would be a situation where you would need to use the quantum touch with a pet?
Well, obviously, things have changed at the minute, Val, and I don't get to see very many in person, unfortunately. But a lot of it, it's helped me to sort of develop as I've gone on, and then I'll also develop my remote work, actually.
Okay.
Because with understanding how energy flows and moves, I can then also use my body to connect remotely with another body.
Of course,
whether that's a person, an animal, it doesn't matter. Because, if it's a mammal, well, pretty much most living things. I mean, I don't, do much kinesiology testing with newts, for example. But, with everybody, they've got, from the brain to their toenails, everything's pretty much similar inside. so we could test the different areas.
Mm-hmm. So would
Yeah.
someone be coming to you with let's say take a dog for example that's
Mhm.
having maybe behavioral issues or something that they can't quite get their finger on to figure out why the dog does what it does? Is that the kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I get all sorts of things. A lot of times it's behavioral when a trainer's kind of stumped. Um, and as well, I mean, I've done some training in my past too. Also, a retired certified master groomer as well. So I'm very, very au fait with the physiology of the dogs
Mm-hmm.
and cats, just even from doing that with hands-on for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding how things work and understanding where things are, and just even having that experience hands-on for so long, had a lot of contact with a lot of different sort of, well, I hate to say personalities, but personalities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So yeah, somebody will come along and go, he's been acting up, or he's just really lethargic, or we've just spent $4,000 on surgery and they don't know what it is. Can you do
Oh.
anything?
Aha.
So sadly, because a lot of people, well, especially in Canada anyway, a lot of people are with the free healthcare, even though that doesn't apply to our pets, but
Mm-hmm.
they will still just automatically go to the veterinarian route
Mm-hmm.
and go for an awful lot of band-aids, as I tend to call them, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times they're just treating the symptoms, which is the same in any healthcare side, as you know.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
But
that's very interesting. So, have you been dealing with any pets in that are having anxiety? Is that something that seems to come
oh
forward a
yeah,
lot,
that's one of probably the most common
like
things I'm
separation
contacted
anxiety?
for.
Yeah.
Not even separation anxiety at the minute. The anxiety actually is being caused now by all the people staying home.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, the dog doesn't get its downtime anymore. It's 14 hours of sleep a day. Where we always think we're being mean to the dog by leaving them at home all day. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they love it. For 9 times out of 10, they would prefer it.
Interesting.
When questioned, nine out of 10 dogs said they preferred their owners to be leaving every morning.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, lots and lots of anxiety, and it's because a lot of people are living in a very, very high stress state right now,
Mm-hmm.
and everything's connected.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at your dog and it's stressed, you should maybe look at yourself first.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah,
Hmm.
what we pass on, and they're reflecting and picking up on our energy. Absolutely.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even just yesterday, I was contacted by, oh, I'm really worried. I think so and so's got something or other, blah, blah, blah. Can you have a look or can you check in with
Mm-hmm.
her? So I'm like, okay, did a quick scan, did a check in. I was like, yeah, right, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, well, what's going on then? Tell her to calm down, would you? Is basically the message I got. So I said,
Wow.
would you stop worrying? The only reason
Interesting.
she's worried and upset is because you're worried. I says, you've been told to calm down. He's like,
Wow.
oh, shit.
You
Sorry.
know what, Wendy? This is really interesting because it sounds to me a lot like you're doing animal communication.
There's a lot coming through with that. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
there is. Even
Okay.
though that's not the intended purpose, but
Right.
it's actually what ends up at the end of a lot of the consultations and a lot of reasons why a lot of people are coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I'm getting it. So, a few years ago, I did a animal communication course in Lilydale, New York,
Mm,
and it's the biggest thing about that was learning to increase our vibrations because animals vibrate at a higher frequency, basically for
they
words
certainly
than we
do.
do. And so we
Yes.
need to connect into that vibration. So I'm getting the impression that what you're doing is you're in tuning into
Hmm.
that vibration that the
Hmm.
pets are getting so that you can get this information from them.
Absolutely. No, you've
Mm-hmm.
nailed it.
Okay, good.
Um, and I think it sort of was a long way round for me to actually realize that that's what I was doing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because originally it was more with the kinesiology, the muscle testing, and seeing what's responding to what. I mean, I test for all sorts of things like, well, excessive heavy metal toxicity,
Oh, okay.
parasites, autoimmune issues, the anxiety, the depression, the guilt, the fear,
Mm-hmm.
all of those things, all the nutrient deficiencies.
Oh,
I
yeah.
test them for all of their foods that they're currently on. I get my clients to send me a full, well, either probably a picture or a write up of their food ingredient label,
Mm-hmm.
and I go through for every ingredient to see whether
Wow.
there's a sensitivity from something in particular, or if there's something they just simply don't like.
Well, there's that.
Um, yeah, there is that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, different circumstances, different situations, what their laundry detergent is used, and environmental factors, all the environmental toxins, like all your pesticides, your glyphosates, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's easy to find out when you know how, but it's really easy to know how. And
Okay.
that's the thing that's been hidden from us.
Okay. So how would someone go about sort of getting the idea of what their pet may not be resonating with? They don't like that smell, or they don't like that particular ingredient in their food.
The best thing I do with every client that I have, I try to, and I certainly try to coach them through it. Plus, I encourage everyone to do, even from my own podcast, is
Hmm.
learn how to muscle test.
Okay. Yeah, explain
There
that,
are
because I'm
many
sure
ways
there's a
to
lot of
do it.
people don't know what that is. Yeah.
Okay, the simple way to do it, and it is basic kinesiology, and this is science, folks. It is not woo-woo crazy,
Hmm.
crazy Irish woman on the end of the phone here. Um, although that's probably open for debate too. But um, the muscle testing is basically you present yourself with an item, and I mean you can simply do this with your cell phone.
Hmm.
But all you have to do, and you can do this with your partner or anyone at all, and you're literally testing the strength of the muscle.
Hmm.
So you can simply start by standing there with your arm straight out and try to resist somebody from pushing your arm down. And
Yep.
then what you want to do is say yes and let them try to push your arm down, and then say no and get them to try and push your arm down.
Hmm.
So what you should find is that yes, you will be very strong, and no, you will be weaker.
Hmm.
So what you want to do then is grab your cell phone and get them to test you for which is stronger. Just say, what's your answer? Or tell me, or what do you say? Or does your body need this? Or find out a phrase or a word that's common for you to use with them, and then get them to try and push that arm down as you're holding your cell phone in your other hand. And you'll be
Okay.
as weak as a kitten, guaranteed.
Why the cell phone?
EMFs,
Oh,
electromagnetic frequencies.
gotcha.
Yeah, they make you incredibly weak, and they are incredibly draining and harmful. So yeah, and actually, I mean, a lot of people worry about their 5G towers, all the rest of it, but they've got their 5G towers in their hands, sticking up
Hmm.
to the side of their head.
Right.
And that's the hard part about it. There's even EMFs from your heated seats in your car. So
And your
there's
alarm clock.
oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah, everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, we are weakened to that for sure, and there are different things as well that I work with that can actually reverse that and turn
Ah.
it into positive energy. But even just testing and learning to do the muscle test with the yes and the no response,
Yep.
that was actually the first thing that blew my mind about 7 years ago.
Okay.
When before that I'd been I'm your typical Irish optimistic pessimist.
Hello.
So
Okay.
I question everything and I trust no one.
Oh my
And
God,
it's
I
like,
understand that.
yeah, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, every grey cloud has a dark grey lining. It's not silver. No, 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 no. You have to prove that to me. Open that cloud up and let me see the inside of it.
Yep. Yep.
And things can always be worse. So
Yeah. My God.
but thinking about that and growing up with that attitude the whole time probably did me no good at all. Because that keeps you in that really negative state,
Yeah. I guess,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't until somebody physically showed me how to muscle test doing the yes and no, and the light bulb went on above the head. It was like 20 million light bulbs. Yeah, it was that bright. Because I finally got it. Because I'd
Okay.
listened to all of these gurus or whatever, and they'd say, oh, positive thinking and the power
Yeah.
of this and manifesting that and blah, blah. And I was like, oh, it all sounds wonderful, but they all look rich and famous, so what have they got to worry about?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The cynic, always the cynic.
Always the cynic. Yeah.
So I basically got my mind blown at yes and no and the strength of my arm. And that's kind of history from that, because the reason I was actually tested that way was because I'd given up on traditional healthcare.
Okay.
My health had gone down the toilet, and
Uh,
I needed some help. And it was actually through going that route and pursuing that I got some help, and then discovered it was Lyme disease that was causing all my issues.
no.
Maybe something to connected to being a dog groomer at the time, not sure.
Oh,
Maybe living in the
no.
South Shore of Nova Scotia, not sure.
Oh, my
All of the
gosh.
above, yeah.
Wow.
So that was interesting. So it's been a
Yeah,
journey for me as well, and with that, then I continue to go on this journey and just get stronger and I'm more and more committed to helping more and more people and pets.
I see.
Mhm.
I can give you a little, I had a customer, her pet has passed on just recently, actually.
Oh.
She was having a really hard time with it, a little Boston Cross, and it had Cushing's, and she was
Mm.
doing everything she could. And she was, the dog was on raw, and then she was introducing some, trying all kinds of different things, but she wanted to add a little bit of kibble in, and she wanted her to go vegetarian. And she was looking at two types, one that had a organic background to it, and the other one limited ingredient type food, and she both vegetarian, and she specifically wanted to muscle test for those two
Mhm.
foods to decide which one would
Absolutely.
be better for her little dog. Yeah.
Neither.
Yeah, I know. And so as that as I
Sorry.
actually, yeah. And unfortunately the response was fairly weak on both, but
Yeah.
yeah, but she, but that the she did want to do a muscle test specifically to see if this was something that she could do, and she was using that protocol. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some people
Yeah,
do,
absolutely.
she was quite a
Yeah.
senior woman, but she knew what she was doing with regards to that. So, yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been around a long time. It's not a new age fancy dandy thing.
Right. Yeah.
It has been around a long, long time, and
Mhm.
a lot of chiropractors do it in their practice. A lot of osteopaths do it in their
Mhm.
practice. Any
Mhm.
any sports medicine person is actually doing muscle testing whenever they're
Mhm.
testing for sports injuries because they test the strength of the muscle. What is it?
Right.
It's muscle testing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
That's.
lots of ways to do it.
Mhm. So that's a lot of things you're doing. So now, one of the things that
Mm.
you mentioned was the biochemic, and you said like the real tissue salts. What's
hmm
that?
Well, if we go back to Dr. Linus Pauling, he was really the main one who identified all of the individual tissue salts that our bodies need to thrive.
Okay.
And he was a two-time laureate winner, Nobel Prize. There we go.
Mhm.
Nobel Prize winner, and basically said that every disease we can link back to a nutrient deficiency.
Okay. Nutrient
So it all
deficiency.
starts with there. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, the tissue cells they're comprised a little bit like homeopathy.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's lots of different brands out there. There's Highlands, there's Schussler's, and Schussler's salts would probably be the most famous one, if you like.
Mhm.
A lot of people have known about them. They've been around for decades, and a lot of people will identify what ones that they're missing. I work with an independent blender who
Mhm.
basically is like a compounder and makes up a lot of different formulas, which
Okay.
are incredibly good.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I also work with a company out of the US as well. I'm one of their registered practitioners,
Mhm.
and that's where I usually use a lot of the products of theirs because they're very similar.
Mhm.
And it's easier for me to ship direct for my US clients from them.
So this
So
is an
they use a lot of
ingestible?
herbals and stuff too. It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like homeopathy. It's on that because you have to put the nutrients back in some way, and it's basically like it's like eating a nice big dinner that your great granny or your granny would have made on a
Mhm.
Sunday. Back 10, 20, 40, 70, 80 years ago, really.
Yeah.
Actually, before our time, Val, let's put it that way, long
There,
before
of
our
course, yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah, long time ago.
Whenever there was actually nutrient dense foods,
Mhm.
with unfortunately now with especially North American practices when they stopped the arable farming so that they could get better yields for crops and that depleted the nutrient content.
Mhm.
It was discovered, I think, in 2012, one of the World Forums or something, and they said, we've depleted the soils to about 95%. So we've worked it out that for anyone in North America to get their recommended daily amount, they should be eating about 8 or 9 times the amount of food as they are now.
Oh gosh.
So they went, oh, we can't tell them that. What'll we do?
Mhm. Mhm.
So they just stopped reporting it.
My goodness.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
just stopped reporting it. So I mean, you wonder why everybody's walking around sick, and you wonder why animals are getting more autoimmune diseases and cancers and bad bones, because the nutrients just aren't there, no matter
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that is, I think, being educated towards pet parents in many ways, because a lot of times, especially if they've had dogs way in the past and then they're getting a dog now and they're like, I don't understand, we used to just like feed
Yes,
him stuff off the table, and why do I have to,
that's
and
right.
it's like, well, the number one thing is the food is just not the same as it was,
No,
20 years
nowhere
ago.
close. Nowhere
And, the
close.
same as if there's, they say, well, uh, what's wrong with corn? Well, it's the number one GMO product. So,
Hmm.
there's reasons behind that. So it's just not the same anymore. So we just don't have
Exactly.
can't use the same sort of protocols with things. It's different, So
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even just the 20 years ago. It's really the 40 years ago, but it's
Yeah.
since the last 20 years, it's because of the buildup of the toxins in our systems
Yeah.
that have actually stopped us working even more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's attributing to it. And I mean, with the pets, actually, the more I test, the more I'm getting environmental toxins than anything else.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean,
Wow.
you're talking pesticides, GMOs, um, God forbid, but there's other different things that are in their systems that
No.
should not be in any food system,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically from other dead animals.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, whenever you look at the 4 Ds of dog food for kibble, we
Yeah.
all know that one, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going into their systems too.
It's really
Yeah,
hard. I mean, it's a very hard thing to navigate right now,
it
for
is.
people that are trying to do their very best by their
Yes.
animals. Absolutely. So that's why one of the things is being able to talk to people like you that can, impart this information, and people can take it
Mhm.
away and hopefully apply it as best they can. You do the best you
Mhm.
can, within
Yeah,
all your parameters, what's available, your budget, you do the best you can, right?
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing I try to tell people is don't get completely and utterly brainwashed with the marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the fancier and glossier and shinier and more expensive and more visible the marketing is, you can pretty much guarantee there's a less quality product.
Yeah, it's interesting how many people will ask me about certain things and say, well, was this really that good? And I said, well, no, they just advertise a lot.
Marketing's
They're not
perfect.
any
That
better than
drops in the
anybody
pan.
else,
No,
Yeah.
probably worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
exactly.
mean,
But
yeah, you think of the multi-million dollars that are spent in advertising a particular food, for example, and then you've got, Joe Schmo down the road that their food's twice the price, and they're going, well, what should I pay that for?
mm-hmm.
Well, you do get what you pay for in a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the best thing anybody can take away from any of it is learn how to muscle test. And once you've learned how to proficiently do it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
then you can teach yourself how to sway test, or some people call it human dowsing. I only heard that a couple of weeks ago,
You
actually.
mean like doing like with pendulums?
Well, you can with pendulums, or
Okay.
I just sway test. I do it myself.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
What do
because
you mean by
I don't
sway
do
test?
anything with a pendulum. Anything
Okay.
external can be manipulated, in my opinion. So
Okay.
they don't work for me.
Okay. Yeah. So what
So
do you mean
sway
by,
testing is basically if you're standing there. If you stand there, okay, best way to do it is, and I actually go through it as well on one of the podcast episodes.
mm-hmm.
But if you're standing there, maybe have a chair in front of you in case you fall over, and basically about a foot in front of a wall. So if you fall backwards, you've got something to support you.
Okay.
But have the cushion on either side,
Okay.
and then hope you don't start swaying sideways instead. Um, but but you're doing the same thing. You basically stand, feet shoulder width apart, very relaxed. Um, your hands, I always cross them in front of your heart, because then you can't reach out and change your direction with your arms.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you're also holding across your heart chakra.
Okay.
Um, and close your eyes and very relaxed, and actually then just state your name.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say, my name is George Orwell, and you should basically go one way or the other, and then state your real name, and
Mm.
you should go the other way.
Okay.
And that will actually show you what your yes and no is.
Right.
So then you can easily just after that go, show me yes,
Mm-hmm.
see which way you sway, show me no, see which way you sway. And you should go yes the same direction you went for your true spoken name.
Okay.
So I'm always one for second guessing everything. So I always have the fail safes in there so people can second guess, or don't have to second guess, they can test it,
Okay.
right? And then basically you can start grabbing things and test them for yourself. You can hold it close to your chest and go, is this for me?
Mm-hmm.
And then whether you go yes or no to that. And I mean, that's how I discovered actually that avocados are not a superfood when it comes to Wendie's diet.
I gotcha.
It's like a big bucket of MSG. Here you go. So yes, wondered why I was having all of these strange reactions when I had the most delicious sub, and came home and tested an avocado and almost went flying on my back.
Oh God.
And it was like, that's not a good sign.
So then to do this with your pets, what do you do with how do you do that?
You state the intent.
Okay.
So you basically hold the same thing up and go, is this for George? Say George is the dog on the floor, whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right? Or is this for Lizzie? Or is this for Murphy? And you can go through whoever. It takes practice, but it's the same as anything. You're learning a new skill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like you just picked up a pair of knitting needles and can make yourself a sweater in a week.
Right.
So it's the same with anything. And a lot of people give up on it, which is fine, because then people like me end up with continuous clients.
There you go.
But I like to give people that empowerment to be able to make these decisions themselves as well. So usually after a couple of months, they're going, I did it. And it's brilliant, because then they're taking more control over what's going on, what they're doing, what they're eating, what they're using, what they're putting on topically, internally, on themselves, their animals, in their household. And you just see things starting to change. It's pretty exciting.
I could see that, especially when, that sounds like a great way for people who are at their wits' end trying to figure out what they can do for their pets when they're having not only especially the allergy thing and the food thing and but then also the behavioral thing as well. I can see that maybe maybe if you did some kind of sway testing to ask yourself, why does your dog always do this particular behavior? And then if you get it down to a very basic yes or no type of question, then you might be able to get some glimmer into why.
Absolutely. Yes, you certainly can. Ask, is there built-up toxins? Is there parasites? Is there heavy metals? Is there too many vaccines? That's the most common thing. And that's leading to a lot of behavioral issues.
Are you finding that? Like the vaccines for pets is starting to create behavioral issues?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Really?
Yeah, oh yes. I mean, even if you're getting the vaccines that are thimerosal free or mercury free, they're still loaded with aluminum.
Okay.
Loaded.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that can definitely create some behavioral issues. Plus as well, Val, a lot of things that isn't taken into consideration is, okay, say if you and I were the same age, same weight, same height, same everything else, and we went to take a dose of something. Your system may be 10 times more sensitive than mine are, so you may need a 1/10 of that.
Right.
Whereas both of us should get the same dosage.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that in pets.
Okay.
So it's no fault of the vets, and don't get me wrong, anyone who's listening out there, they're following their protocols that they've been taught, and that's what they know. That's fine. But what I do is look at the individual being and go, was that too much? And I got a very strong yes from a little Cocker Spaniel a few months back or last year. And that's what it ended up being.
Wow.
So once I found out that dosage of that vaccine was too high, then I was able to go through and test to see what there was, if there were certain residuals in, and actually found out that the body had gone into an autoimmune state.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we're helping it. We're helping it.
Yeah.
And it's literally, we start with the drainage. We open the drainage channels, we bring down the inflammation, and then we give it the good nutrients. And the body is very, very, very smart. And it is way smarter than this little pea brain on the top. And goes, okay, I know what I need. You give me what I need and I can fix myself.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways the pets, they do tell us, and they instinctually know some things that, no, this is not for me, and they try and tell us that, but we don't pick up on it,
Absolutely.
But I was having a conversation with Teresa Gilligan, who's a Ayurvedic practitioner for pets, and one of the things she mentioned was we should never give raw vegetables to our pets.
Hmm.
And I said, that's interesting that you say that, because when we tried to give raw carrot once to our dog, he was like, no way, no way he
Hmm.
would eat it. Just spit it out. But if you cook them and put them in his dinner for them every once in a while, he'll like that. And she
Hmm.
says that's because he's just his own system knows,
Hmm.
no, don't eat that.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yet the next dog beside him would chow it down, not a problem.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing. That's why I love working with pets, because I know I do a lot of stuff with people, and most of my training, actually, all of my training is around people,
Hmm.
but I've adapted it to work with the animals. And with working with them and just trying to help identify this, that, or the other thing, they don't understand placebos.
Right.
So you can't tell them, oh, this is going to be better if we take this out of your food today.
Hmm.
Or it's going to be better if I put a wee bit of salmon oil in here,
Hmm.
or whatever it ends up being,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And, you know, so they don't get placebos. So I can't make it up.
Right.
So they can't psychosomatically get better because I told their owners they're going to.
Yeah. Okay.
So then the owners will come back and go, okay, can you do for me now?
Mhm.
I'll go,
Mhm.
okay, well, where do you want to start?
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you want to start? Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have lots and lots and lots of forms and questions when it
I
comes
bet.
to dealing with people.
So, what are you finding that, like, for the conditions that you have success with and are treating? What are you finding sort of mostly up there right now? You were saying anxiety, but what are some of the other things that you're finding is really prevalent?
Well, I think the first thing I have to say to you, Val, is I don't treat anything.
Okay.
I cannot make any claims and I cannot treat anything because I am not a doctor or a
Gotcha.
vet.
Mhm.
So I can make suggestions and help find fixes.
Mhm.
But these are all supplement and completely natural.
Mhm.
So anybody that does actually want to come and do any work with me, they are always, always encouraged and advised to get permission and let their physician or veterinarian know what they're going to be doing.
Mhm.
And I have a few holistic vets that work with me quite closely.
Oh, good.
So yeah, they get what I do and they understand what I do, and because they're holistic, they're not just all pharma.
Mhm.
But sorry, I kind of missed the end of that question,
I'm just
because I went
wondering.
back and just hung up on the treat word.
Yeah. So what is it that people are sort of, what's the most prevalent thing
Oh,
that people are looking into right now for help?
well, a lot of times they don't know. They're just not getting answers anywhere else.
Mhm.
And it's quite amusing because a lot of people who are coming to find me for themselves rather than their pets are usually trying to find the answers the natural way because they've given up on the traditional way themselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
A little bit where I was, but
Mhm.
then I'll go, okay, well, here's all the forms. Start with that, because the first thing I will do is go through that whole big cupboard or drawer or basket full of all of these supplements that you have been buying for the last 3 or 4 years and gathering up,
Mhm.
and figuring out of 25 of them, there's only 3 of them that you should actually use.
Mhm. Mhm.
So a lot of people are going, well, I've seen this, I've read about this, so I need to take this supplement.
Mhm.
So they'll go and buy an individual supplement,
Mhm.
and they don't know what particular source it is, how it's processed, what its origin is, what its end result is, how much fillers are in the capsule with the actual real stuff, all of that kind of thing.
Right.
So whenever we go through a lot of that, a lot of times we'll find that they are actually doing more harm to themselves than good, because so much are counterproductive.
Right.
So, oh, this is a great supplement. Yeah, but when you put it with that and that chelates with that, that builds up with that, and that residuals that, and it doesn't utilize.
Mhm.
So, okay,
Mhm.
let's go back to brass tacks.
Mhm.
More times than not, it is, though, parasites and inflammation. They're the things that nobody's dealing with.
Right. And I wonder if that's one of the issues. Are you noticing a rise of any kind of like parasites in our animals that we don't know about?
Um, Funny, that's a kind of a double-edged sword.
Hmm.
We do a lot of treating on our animals through our vets for different parasites and wormings and things like that.
Mhm.
So, but we never do ourselves. Why?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We can breathe in worm castings. We are worm eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can actually breathe them in. So, I mean, we can think, oh, we're clean. We wash our hands. We do this. We do that. You've never slept through the night and had a bug in your room and it wasn't there the next morning. There's one of those crazy, silly statistics that, how many bugs you actually eat in your
Yeah.
lifespan.
I read that. It's
But
probably like 0.
there's a lot of the drugs though that are being used for the animals for dewormers are actually really quite toxic and not doing what they should be doing.
Okay.
I've tested quite a few of them and found out that they can actually mask a lot of the symptoms, but they don't actually kill certain parasites at all.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a problem.
I have a particular one who I discovered had H. pylori, and I went, where did that come from? And it was a lot of digging and searching and testing, and found out that he was actually born with it.
Whoa.
Yep. Oh yeah. A lot of parasites can actually
Yeah.
be transgenital. I mean, Lyme disease can be as well.
Oh, yikes. Yeah.
Yeah, and any bloodborne insect, just in case anybody was thinking it was just ticks.
Yeah.
But the actual product that he had been on by his owner for 4 years had been masking the symptoms.
Oh, wow.
So whenever he went into his new home, and the new owner didn't do that, this itchy, crazy, itchy, awful stained dog with breakouts and scabby bits and hot spots and all the rest of it. And it's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, obviously, the first thing I would look at, because of my background, would have been the skin. It's the largest organ. But now knowing what I know, it's like, okay, the skin is a symptom. The skin is an exit route. And it's probably the easiest exit route for something. So what's coming out? There's something inside. And then that's when I get to testing and go, ooh, look what I'm finding.
I see. Interesting.
Yes. So, actually, he's been on an antiparasitic now for a while. I'm going to say 3-4 months, maybe. And the staining is all subsiding. The itchiness is pretty much gone. And we're working well with it, because that's a tough one to shift as well.
Yeah.
Because, you're going right into the cellular level with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. So now we can talk a little bit about your company, Finnessiam, because you're doing alternative products for pets. And so I'll get you to sort of talk about that and how you got into it. But I did want to ask you at one point, you state that you have CBD alternatives through your thing. So are you not a fan of CBD for pets?
Oh, no, I absolutely love it.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge fan of CBD.
Okay.
The problem is it's illegal in Canada to sell without a license.
That's right. I know.
So when the laws on Lovely changed, then basically it came to the point where we couldn't bring ours in anymore.
That's
because
right.
the mother company, actually, you're asking how Finnessiam gets started, so it's easier to go that way a bit. Dogs of Pride is my company that I was grooming under and training under and doing a lot of the dog products and dog grooming products for all the groomers across Canada. And Finnessiam, there's 3 dogs that are in the logo of Dogs of Pride, and they were Finn, Jesse, and William. So it was a culmination of the 3 names became Finnessiam.
Okay.
And we actually started out doing our colloidal silver.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually have ours approved by Health Canada, one of the few. And I see that there's a lot of recent articles starting to fly around again with the fear-mongering of colloidal. And it's like, here we go again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually one of the next podcasts I'm about to record.
Yep.
So let's blow this one wide open again.
Yep.
And myth bust that one. So anyway, but the CBD that we had was Pet Relief out of Colorado. We'd been to their farm. We've seen their practices. We know their processing. We've seen their lab results. We've got their education. Love, love, love it. And we were the Canadian distributor.
Okay.
Until the Cannabis Act came in. And they held me at the border for 28 hours and said, no, you can't bring that in anymore. And really, you shouldn't have been allowed to ever. I was like, well, I'm standing here with a file, 4 or 5 inches thick going, well, you stumped them all before.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was sitting in a corner, and it was basically, do I sit here in a comatose state and have a nervous breakdown now with all of these hundreds of animals that I'm letting down with not being able to get CBD?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I do something about it?
Okay.
So I did. I did something about it.
Okay.
That little Belfast chick isn't going to take that lying down. So I went into every single bit of research into every sort of cannabinoid, sesquiterpene, phytocannabinoid rich, all the sorts of labeling and names and what they were and do they exist and what are they in. And I mean, you'll find them like, phytocannabinoids was also put on the restricted substances list under Health Canada.
Yes.
So what my question to them was when are you going to pull the carrots off the shelves then at the store?
I guess yes, okay.
Yep. Carrots contain phytocannabinoids.
Yeah, there you go.
So does black pepper.
Wow.
So does oregano.
Mm-hmm.
So does an awful lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down the route of testing a lot of other substances. What is the highest of this? What's the highest of that? Do they work together? Are they safe? Where do they come from? How are they processed? And ended up with this synergistic blend that I called Smart Oil.
Smart Oil?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was smart because it only comes in 15 milliliter bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And it only uses drops rather than droppers, because I could easily have stuck it into a gallon container and diluted the heck out of it in order to put a higher price tag on everything else. But my aim is to help all the animals, not just the rich and wealthy ones.
Yep.
So I want to help that little 70-year-old lady with her little Shih Tzu that's, really in pain towards the end of his life, have a nice end of life.
Right. Nice.
So we tested it against the CBD. It was coming out very, very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to finnessiamhealth.com and read the testimonials, you'll see where a lot of people have found out that it has surpassed expectations and any other products that they've ever tried.
Okay.
The stories that come back, obviously we are all anecdotal.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the rub with that, Val. When I tried to go down that route, it's like, okay, how do I get some really good testing done?
Mm-hmm.
And how do I get some, real clinical stuff and all that sort of stuff that lots of people go, well, you need to have that. And I go, well, listen, it's about $2.5 million. And you have to actually do it on someone who owns a beagle laboratory.
Oh, my God.
Yes, that's a lab with beagles, live barking ones, that they then drop it in their eyes, scrape it on their skin, all of that to do your testing with. Yes.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, there is no way in hell I'm doing that. That's completely against everything I stand for.
Yeah.
And I know energetically I can test this. And I'm going to say 95 to 99% true and accurate results every single time. Because I don't believe anything's 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that pompous. But the animals let me know. They let me know in a couple of weeks, couple of days even. I've had people calling me and going, my dog's jumping on the bed. He hasn't done it for 2 years. I was like, did you want him to jump on the bed? So,
yep.
And they're just happy he's jumping. So, that's what makes my heart sing.
Wow. So that's your Smart Oil is the alternative to CBD, and it's obviously doing very well.
It is, yes. And then because you can use that topically and you can actually use it on drops as a supplement.
Topically too.
It may help that. Yeah, topically it's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I use it on horses quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the nice thing with using it even internally on horses is that it won't show up on a drug test.
Oh,
so
okay.
like a performance horse, because CBD will actually show up on a drug test for a horse.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a nice route for that. Hopefully will go.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you use it on the likes of the heel bulbs on horses or even on dogs' feet, it can actually help to draw out pain.
Oh.
Or it seems to.
Yeah.
It seems to.
Yeah.
I'm not making any claims to that, but it seems to. Well, they don't limp a couple of days later, and that's the only change in it. You go, well, is it coincidence? I don't know.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So what other products do you have then besides the Smart Oil?
Well, besides the Smart Oil, another nice thing for feet, we have the Brilliant Balm, which is a lovely paw balm That can be used on crusty noses
Mm.
or crusty feet, and I actually use it as a lip balm. Not
Mm-hmm.
the same one I use on the dogs, obviously.
Okay.
And on, really dry, crusty elbows or anything like that. Some
Mm.
people actually like it for a little bit of like a bag balm because it does have a little bit of a water repellency to it
Okay.
once you have it on the skin, but it's really nicely absorbed. It's the only one that I've even found, never mind made,
Mm-hmm.
that is really nice to melt and absorb quickly. So
Okay.
you don't end up with a lot of really greasy paws sliding
Oh,
around on the hardwood flooring.
right.
Right. So that's quite nice. And that has the smart oil in it. So it
Oh.
has all of those beneficial to it. And then there's also a cream.
Uh-huh.
And there are so many people who are using this cream for themselves, Val. It's absolutely hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I even have an osteopath in Scotland who uses it on her massage clients.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, it's lovely. And that also has the smart oil in it as well. So that's absorbing into all of those sore muscles and
Okay.
sore bones and everything.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And then just around the end of last year,
Mm-hmm.
because with the whole COVID thing, unfortunately, we had to drop one of our best product lines, which was a dog grooming product and shampoos and conditioners and sprays and all that lovely stuff that we were bringing out of the States for the past 11 years, because with all the shutdowns, a lot of the groomers closing or downsizing, then we just didn't have the sales to validate bringing in lots and lots of pallets of inventory.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so we had to change horses, and then it was one of those things where somebody had said, oh, well, a few people had said, you should make your own shampoo, Wendy. It's like, you know what you're doing. You've done this long enough now, and you know all
Mm-hmm.
the ingredients, because I've always been an absolute nutter for ingredients,
Okay.
and knowing what they are and where they're from and all the rest of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, well, never say never. Here we go. And got playing with a few ingredients and stuff in the fall, end of last summer,
Mm-hmm.
and came out with something that has been needed and asked for a lot, especially out here in Nova Scotia. We have a very, very high incidence with a lot of toxicities. I think a lot of it has to do with the fisheries and the
Okay.
amount of bleach that we're used, but a lot of
Oh.
people have scent sensitivities.
Oh.
So I moved out here and there's all these scent-free zones plastered all over these stores.
Yeah.
It was like, you can't wear deodorant going into the YMCA. I'm like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Do you know how bad it smells in here? Yeah, it's like, and you're scent sensitive, but you can't smell that.
Wow.
But anyway, for all the fragrances and stuff, and yes, some of them are really potent and some of them are very powerful and very aggravating to many.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I have my other theories as to why that is too, but
Mm-hmm.
that's another show.
Yeah.
But the shampoo then ended up, it's SLS free, it is scent free, and it is dye free,
Oh,
and it is
nice.
paraben free.
Ah.
So we've got all of the nasty stuff out of there. There's no MEAs, no DEAs, no parabens, no phthalates.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Just a
and
good
it's
cleaning shampoo.
yeah, and it leaves it nice and soft and fluffy and helps to get rid of extra dead undercoat.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's also got a colloidal silver base to it, so it's
Mm.
also soothing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we did a shampoo. We have a leave-in conditioner, so it makes it so much easier for your pet parents. Actually, even for the groomers, they're loving it too.
Yeah.
Where instead of having to do a whole application and another rinse off in the tub,
Mm-hmm.
they spray that on a wet or damp coat and blow dry it in, and they just find it. Any little tangles and stuff will just slide right out. We have
Oh,
lovely top-end ingredients in that.
nice. That would
And
be.
again, the colloidal. So it's
Yeah.
really good as a detangler, brush through spray in between grooming,
Mm-hmm.
or as your leave-in conditioner. And then we did a very, very simple ear cleaner with colloidal silver and witch hazel.
I was just going to mention witch hazel to you. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, how do you feel about witch hazel? Because it's one of my go-tos sometimes.
Oh, yes.
And looking into natural ingredients, not only for pets, but myself as well. Sometimes I'll be
Yes.
like, well, so there's witch hazel in this. This will help with the itch. And, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep. Helps it dry a little bit without over drying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was very afflicted with very bad acne as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually used to make potions and infusions and topicals and everything and pull the heads off my mum's marigolds And witch hazel was one of the most go-to things that I had. I used to have pure witch hazel where I would put onto my spots to dry them out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's in a lot of, it's in some of our, in some of the natural ointments, gels and things, which is great. I had a horse that used to rub his tail, like his bum, against the stall door mostly, and he would just rub back and forth, so the top of his tail, and he would do that, and of course this would break all the hairs on his tail, which wasn't good, and I would always just spray this all on his top of his tail to get that itch out, and that was the best thing for him, and then comb it through.
Definitely.
Yep.
It's great. Yeah. I have a lot of that, and also the aloe vera juice.
Yeah.
I'm also a big fan of that stuff too. Yeah. And actually your horse probably had parasites, because those commercial dewormers don't help either.
Yeah, that's probably you're very right. It's because you don't know why he's doing what he's doing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a guy who, I've tested every commercial dewormer on the market for, and he tests negative to them all.
Oh.
Even a good friend of yours and mine, actually, Joanne from Omega Alpha. Yeah, and I love their products, and he even tested negative for the Para X.
Oh, yeah?
So, yep, very, very, very simple things for him that are most effective. And, yeah, sometimes it's not what we're adding into our routine, if you like. But sometimes we're just adding too much of the wrong stuff in.
Right. So have you you've gone through all the processes to get all these, get your shampoo and your oils and everything through Health Canada? I'm sure that was a bit of a trial.
No, we just have the colloidal silver, because the colloidal silver, with the uproar again a couple of years ago, they were pulling it out of pet stores and stuff because they wanted it approved. Yeah. And it's because it's one of the most effective things on the market, and they know that. Yeah. So they're just trying to make things more and more difficult. And that's the criminality of it all is. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole I don't really want to start delving into. Yeah. But there's a lot of things out there that have been around for an awful long time. And even whenever we go into the whole energy frequencies, things like that again, we had electrical frequency machines that were banned in the 1940s because they were actually curing people. When Big Pharma stepped in, they were like, we can't have that. So, yeah, a lot of things changed around the 20s to the 40s. And by the 60s, that's whenever you can start seeing cancer incidences raising through the roof and everything else going downhill too. Wow. So, yeah. Well,
I do use colloidal silver a lot. I have a little one of my cats. She's got it's terrible actually. She's got what's been diagnosed as cancer right on the top of her, right between her eyes. She has a very large lump, and then it's pushing in one of her eyes, and it bleeds and everything. And the worst part is because of what's happening with the inflammation, bacteria gets in there. So then that's why it bleeds and gets this sort of kind of thick type of fluid. So I keep on giving her colloidal silver because she was on antibiotics constantly, and then I can't really say. It helped, and then when she's off it comes back.
Of course. So all that does is Well, if you break down even the word of anti and biotic, biotic is the biology of the system, and anti is against it. So what part don't we get? I know, eh? Yeah.
But she's on colloidal silver.
I'd try the smart oil to ramp it up a bit. Yeah. The ingredients with the smart oil, we have copaiba, which some people are touting as a CBD. It's not, just to be clear on that. But it does work with the endocannabinoid system. Okay. So because it's got the beta-carotene in it, or BCP, which is actually very high, and it's got, actually ours is tested and it's got 140 different sesquiterpenes in it. Wow. So you do have an entourage effect in there, but we're also synergistically blending that with the hemp seed oil and dragon's blood.
Oh, yes, of course. Wow.
Right?
Awesome.
Which is the highest ORAC value of any substance on the planet, which is the highest antioxidant.
And it's not real
So,
dragon's blood, everyone.
no, it's not. I know. I keep getting asked that. It's like, well, yes, actually, I am Daenerys, and I have a dragon
So I
farm.
have a dragon farm.
Yeah, yeah. I actually did grow up in Westeros, though, so that's my claim to fame with the dragons.
That's right, where they're filming. Yes, right. They film Game of Thrones. That's right.
Yeah, it's right up the road from
in
where I
Northern
used to
Ireland.
live.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dear.
Yep. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah. Wow. Awesome.
Yes, so that's why it has such a punch. I mean, you know, the dragon's blood was put into my scope or sphere of influence with the Lyme disease because a lot of people use it against the pain and everything with that. But again, I tested for it and it said no. And I'm like, but why? I need something.
Yeah.
And lots of other people were fine for it. So it's like, oh, well, okay, here it is. So it was one of the things that was on the shelf that I thought, I'll throw this into the mix when I'm testing to see what is going to come up as a good alternative for the CBD.
Right.
And once I put the blend together and started testing for it for myself, I went through the roof, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy cow. So I do actually take it myself, and it does help with pain a lot.
Interesting. Wow.
It's the only thing I take. I haven't taken any pharmaceutical like an Aleve or an Advil or anything for about 5 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. Wow. Excellent.
Because we also, we're taught to. That's lovely, isn't it? We're taught to basically, get a pill for an out.
Yeah.
But we have, natural endorphins that come into play and know how to act to help the body heal or protect it if it's hurting so it can heal.
Right.
And we just keep adding on layers and layers and layers of things and do more harm. And once you start getting that out, you actually allow the body to start looking after itself and teaching it how to do the stuff it was always built to do. Yeah.
Well, this has been the thread with everyone that I've been speaking to throughout this series, particularly as, we mentioned Joanne, and the same thing is this idea of giving our body what it needs. And sometimes, if we can get pet parents to understand, if we can give them something that their body can use and to help with whatever that condition is, as opposed to, throwing some kind of pharmaceutical at it. This might just be the better way to go in some cases, Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm not bashing the vets or the doctors in any shape or form. They're wonderful individuals, they're wonderful people, and they want to help and do the best they can as well. But we all have different toolkits.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's finding, whose toolkit's working better, or what combination do I need?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's that combination, the idea of complementary, what can we do and what can we put together? And if we could look at all kinds of different options, maybe coming together with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, works really well.
You never know.
You don't know.
Absolutely. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
There you go. So, how would someone get in touch with you or be able to order your products or have you help them out with anything? How would they get in touch with you?
Best way is to go right on to Finnessiamhealth.com's website.
Okay.
And we have a contact us page on there, so you can send us a general inquiry. Or we also have a little button where you can hit to go right ahead and book an appointment, and then you will get sent a whole ton of forms. And we will start the whole process and get you onto a protocol. We have different products as well through stilldogsofpride.com, and in fact when you go to Finnessiam Health, it will take you, if you look at any of the Finnessiam products on there, it will take you right to dogsofpride.com to actually shop on there. That's where our main shop is as such online there. Is in Dogs of Pride. And then we have with different videos. We used to do Wendie's Wednesdays, which has always been a tongue twister, where I talk mostly about products and stuff like that. So you'll find that on our Dogs of Pride YouTube channel, and that's also where our Quantumly Yours podcast, where I talk about the health aspects and delve deeper, way deeper. We just came out, and actually Joanne Carr, who was with you a couple of weeks ago,
Yep.
actually her edition with me came out today.
Oh, nice.
So when we're recording this, obviously. We have that. We have a couple of other guests coming on in the next few weeks. Lots of doctors and stuff as well. So
Good.
Real professionals, as opposed to just me. And then I do my rants in between and discuss other things like bugs and parasites and detoxification and what you need in a grooming kit. And stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what would you say sort of altogether what your philosophy is with regards to improving animals' health?
My philosophy is to help them all. Everyone and everything deserves to lead a happier, healthier life. And if I can facilitate that in some way or another, that is exactly what my purpose is.
Oh, couldn't have said it any better. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm going to wrap up here, Wendie, because it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you today. And I would really love to keep in touch if we can.
Oh,
and
please, yes.
I'd like to have you back to speak about some of the, a little bit more specifically about certain topics if we can.
Definitely.
Yeah,
so pleasure.
Really like to do that. So I really wish you luck on your new podcast and hope you enjoy that. And I'm going to be looking forward to listening in on that as well. And,
awesome.
If we find someone that's really great, maybe we'll pass them back and forth.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we can get more information out to our listeners, whether it's yours or mine, we get them all together. That's even better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point is to give people lots of options and ways to be able to find out information and that's basically what this is all about, really,
It is.
So,
it really is.
Yeah. So I'd really like to wish you all the best and definitely be staying safe out there.
Yes.
And sláinte.
Sláinte. Thank you very much, Val.
You're very welcome. All right, we'll be talking again soon. Thanks again, Wendie.
Thank you.
Okay, bye for now. Well, that was super fun talking to Wendie Patrick, a biochemic and quantum practitioner. It was so interesting to learn about muscle testing and sway testing to try to determine what we can do for our pets when something presents. I also found Wendie's products from her Finnessiam brand to be so interesting, particularly her smart oil that gives an alternative to CBD oil. I think the takeaway from my chat with Wendie is to learn that there are, again, other ways that we can help our pets, or practices and products that we can introduce or add to our toolbox to help our pets live their best lives. So a big thanks to Wendie for sharing her knowledge because, as I say, knowing is caring. Thank you for listening to Val Talks Pets. Please remember to follow or subscribe to ensure that you never miss an episode. To really help the show, please stop by iTunes and rate and review each episode that you find interesting and helpful. And don't forget that you can also email me at val@valtalkspets.com with topics you would like me to address or with any questions you may have. Also, check out my website at valtalkspets.com and let me know what you think and what you would like to see. Thanks for caring!